Hey there, bar's open. So today we're going to review a limited series or the experimental series, the Glenfiddich Project XX. Hi, SG Alcohol Guy here, giving you honest reviews on the alcohols that I am tasting. And as mentioned, today we'll be reviewing this experimental series from Glenfiddich. I believe this is the second one. This is called the Glenfiddich Project XX Experimental Series number 2. And as you can see, it's an open bottle because one of my lovely friends brought it over to my place during a weekend. We all shared a few glasses together and we had so much fun and laughter. So, must have been good. But me being me, probably drank a little bit too much. I don't remember much of the taste anymore, so I will have to do an honest review. And this is something that you can get in Singapore from the airport, in particular the duty-free shop when you are re-entering Singapore. So this would retail at around $88, if I remember correctly, from the duty-free at the airport. For that, you will get a 700 ml bottle with 47% alcohol content. So that's a very nice and healthy alcohol content. If however you're not traveling, that means you won't get to access the duty-free. Then in that case, you can purchase this online. I believe I saw it in Shopee for about 150 Singapore dollars. So almost double the price. Let's see if it's worth 150 Singapore dollars. And as for all whiskeys, I will review it 3 ways. I'll review it neat. I will then have a splash of water to let the whiskey open up. And finally, have it on the rocks. As mentioned, it's already opened, so let's just go straight to it. I remember it being really nice. It came with a really nice box as well. Thrown away, sorry. Again, I like to clean up the house after drinking, so I kind of thrown most things away. But this has tasting notes of summer fruits and candy floss. And it also says 20 minds, 1 unexpected whiskey. So there's probably like 20 brains in there. Let's see. Pouring a small amount because this is not my first review of the day. Ta-da! Which reminds me of my friend's daughter, lovely little girl. And before I go to the nose of the whiskey, the smell of the whiskey, I do like to swirl the whiskey a little bit just to see how long it takes to settle back down from the side of the glass. It disappeared almost immediately, so there's almost no finish that is supposed to be there. It looks like there's next to no finish to this whiskey. In fact, it took like 2 seconds for everything to disappear. I was speechless for a while. But scent-wise, it doesn't have that overly strong, smell. I think also because it's an opened bottle, so a lot of the alcohol smell escaped already. It doesn't smell as sweet as the label says. In fact, I don't really smell anything except the lingering nail polish remover smell. So, let's see. And as for all whiskey reviews, what you're supposed to do or what I recommend would be to exhale, sip and swallow, and then with your mouth still closed, inhale and exhale through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out through your nose. So this allows for the flavors of whiskey to flow from the mouth to the nose, giving you the full experience, the full tasting note experience. Taste test 1. Oh, definitely candy floss. Sugary sweetness. But there is some like citrus in the mouth as well. As good as no burn. It's just citrus, sweet sourness in the mouth, candy floss in the nose. It's just a very easy drinking whiskey. But there's no finish. The flavors are here. Nothing comes here. Hint of it, but as good as nothing. So that's just me trying to find some flavors. It all disappeared. But it makes you want to pour another glass almost immediately. Now, adding a splash of water to the whiskey to see if it opens up a little bit. I'm excited to know because it's really, really nice by itself. Let's see if having a little bit of water enhances or opens up more flavors. Give it a good swirl to mix it around, and with that, taste test 2. Adding water killed some flavors. There's a metallic blandness in the middle of my tongue. The candy floss flavor disappeared. In fact, all sweetness disappeared. It's just a slight sourishness and that metallic blandness on my tongue. It almost makes me regret adding some water to this whiskey. I feel so bad. And I feel so bad I want to apologize to the whiskey. So, for the Glenfiddich Project XX, have it neat. But let's see if it makes a difference on the rocks. Now, as you can see, for the first time or the second time in this video, nothing has melted. I can't even have a sip of water to cleanse my palates. Nothing. That's because it's a very nice and cool weather today in Singapore for a change. And that's why this is actually my second whiskey review of the day. It is a freezing 27 degrees in Singapore weather, and if you're in Singapore, you know what that means. It was so cooling to the point that I actually forgot to set up the fan while I was setting up and preparing to review. Even then, the fan is actually not on the strongest mode as per normal. The plant is barely moving. But enough chit chats. I was trying to clear off the alcohol and try it with some ice. Bit too much? Who am I kidding? There's no such thing as too much. And I did pour it over the ice, but it was a bit too quick, so I'll need some time for the whiskey to chill. In the meantime, you can look at my face. Enough time has settled, the whiskey should be chilled enough. Taste test 3. Having it chilled revealed the base whiskey flavor, which is a very light whiskey, and killed off all sweetness whatsoever. Whatever that I enjoyed having it neat is non-existent on the rocks. That's just wrong. I mean, it's not a bad taste, it's just I liked the sweetness of it. So, or rather, it was built, or rather it was crafted, it was meant to have that sweetness. Don't have it on the rocks, don't add water to it. Just set that aside. So, in conclusion, a very simple way for this Glenfiddich Project XX to be enjoyed is having it neat. Hey there, thanks for watching up to this point. I just want to state that all these reviews are based on my personal taste, preferences and opinions. They're not to be used as an industry standard. I do, however, want to find out what you think about this Project XX experimental. Number 2, have you tried number 1? Can you send one to me? Drop me some comments. Let's compare some notes. If you're still here, do help me click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because I do try to upload at least one new video every week. Plus, if you know of anyone interested in watching such reviews, do help me send a link to the video as well. And as always, my friends, woohoo! Happy drinking!